Hello, YouTube. This is Speed Benson Tilson playing some Crazyhouse chess. Uh, I am just learning how to stream, so, you know, bear with me. Are we live? Yes. Alright. Um, since this is my first time streaming Crazyhouse chess, I guess I will explain the rules. I'm going to assume you know how to play regular chess. So Crazyhouse chess is similar to regular chess in that all the pieces do their normal thing. But there's a twist. And the twist is that if you take a piece from your opponent, you get that same piece in your hand. It changes color from white to black or black to white. And then you get that piece in your hand. And on your move, you can either make a normal move, like in chess, or you can drop a piece from your hand onto the board on any square. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's basically no restriction on where you can place your pieces. You can check, you can checkmate. The only restriction is you can't place a pawn on the first or eighth rank. That's the only restriction. So Crazyhouse gets pretty crazy. There are openings in Crazyhouse, but there are middle games in Crazyhouse, but there's no end game because the number of pieces does not decrease over the course of the game. So to demonstrate, I'm going to attack. I'm going to put pressure on the opponent's king by dropping a knight right here. Okay, well, playing a Stockfish level 4 right now, so it's going to be a bit weak, but we'll demonstrate the idea of Crazyhouse chess. So I'm just coming in, so I can. The attacks in Crazyhouse can be very vicious because out of nowhere you see just one hole in the king's defenses. Just one hole, and you can start dropping pieces right down your opponent's throat. And they can get very vulnerable very quickly. Now, a couple differences between Crazyhouse chess and regular chess. First of all, tempo and initiative and attack are extremely important in Crazyhouse compared to regular chess. In regular chess, often if you want, you can play slow, positional, build up your attack, maneuver your pieces. In Crazyhouse, you have to attack your king, keep your own king very safe, and pressure the opponent. And sacrifices, as you can see, I dropped a knight for a pawn, and it's no problem whatsoever. Does not, barely matters, as long as I am degrading the defenses around my opponent's king. You could sacrifice whatever you want. Alright, so this should be mate. So we're going to drop a queen here. Okay, now we can play a real person. So I'm going to put a nice leisurely time control, 1 minute with 6-second increment, so that I can commentate. Okay. The board is a little bit big, but that's all right. So my biggest weakness is probably the opening. I don't like to play the opening. I don't know how to play the opening, but you gotta do it. So I'm certainly no expert. I'm just making stuff up in the opening. But broadly speaking, Crazyhouse openings are kind of similar to chess in that you want to get your pieces out, get your king safe, but there's much less. There is a fair amount of theory. I don't know any of the theory, but okay, I'm probably leaving myself vulnerable here on d2, but anyway, you want to get your pieces out, get your king safe, but because the branching factor is so high, once a single piece has been traded, you can drop a piece anywhere. So there's so many different possible moves. It's hard to have deterministic theory that goes for many moves. Okay, I'm going to... So my opponent is definitely pressuring me a lot. He could play knight here. I think I'm safe-ish if I go back there. I think I'm going to just try to pressure. If you're not getting mated immediately, it's often best to just try to pressure. Okay, he's going to... I think he can probably pick up my bishop. I can drop a knight in defense. So if knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes, naturally I'd want to put a bishop here. Oh, I don't even have a bishop. Never mind. Ooh, okay, I should have played too fast. I should have done this. Let's see what the opponent does. Okay. Now, he's probably going to take this, but I don't mind this very much because, okay, he didn't even... Okay. I don't even know if I should take. Possibly I should just keep the pressure up, because this is like a mate threat. It's very hard to defend. No, you know what, because better just take. Queen here is kind of annoying, but I'm actually okay, because this defends this, and this defends this, so it's hard. It doesn't immediately have a drop check. Okay, so now I'm threatening all sorts of queen drops leading to mate. So for example, queen here, check, king here, knight here is mate. And that's what's going to happen. Once you have holes around your king, it's very hard to defend against attacks. Like there's just so many options to drop pieces in right next to your opponent, right near your opponent's king. And once you get a foothold, you can keep dropping pieces. And often what happens in Crazyhouse is you put some pressure on your opponent, and that makes them have to kind of make trades or even sacrifice pieces to avoid getting mated. And then as you're taking their pieces, they might be taking your pieces, but that's fine. So they have a bunch of pieces in their hand, but you keep you keep checking them. You keep dropping pieces, checking them, putting more pressure, and there's nothing they can do. They often don't even get a chance to drop their pieces onto the board because they don't have time. They're, if I drop a knight and it's check, the only way to get out of check is to move the king or take the knight. Or if it's a bishop check, then you can block, but then you're just, now you've dropped a piece on the board that's defending your king, but now it's a pinned piece, and I have more pressure on you. So I've sacrificed my queen. Might not have been a good decision, but it's a common theme in Crazyhouse that material count just doesn't work the same way. Like I took 2 bishops for a queen, and cleared up pieces around my king. I'm not being too attentive because I'm just learning how to talk while playing chess, but so it might not have been a good decision in this case, but often it can be good to sacrifice your queen in order to clear up some pieces around your king, or just get more pieces. Like, I got, in one sense, the opponent got a queen, and I got 2 bishops, and the queen is worth more than 2 bishops. But in another sense, I got 2 pieces, and my opponent got 1 piece. So he might go queen here, king here, rook takes here, knight check, or maybe queen is going to take here. Ooh. Alright, I might be cooked here. So queen is going to take the knight. I can block with a knight, and this defends this. Then he can put a pawn here. I might be okay. Could go knight check. The opponent doesn't have so much in hand, so I'm not cooked immediately, and I could start dropping pieces in defense. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't see that. Nice. He might even drop a knight here. Yeah, that's a good. I should have gone to G7 instead. All right, we're pretty much cooked. That's a good. Well done by the opponent. Wow. Yeah. Okay, pawn here. I have to go king here because queen e8 is mate. But I'm pretty much cooked anyway. Queen e8, king here, knight here, check, and it's impossible to... Oh, was that a mouse slip? Okay. Now we have some kind of a chance. Okay, bishop here, pawn blocks, knight check. If king here, we get smothered mate. So pawn takes, and then rook check, king here, bishop here. If I had another knight. Bishop check. Pawn, knight. Pawn takes. Oh no, if knight here, then he can go here. I have 1 or 2 moves, or I can defend with the knight here. Or something. I feel I have a small sliver of an opportunity. Okay, knight, or bishop, pawn, knight here, rook check, king takes, bishop check, king here. I don't see it. Okay, here's what I have to do. We go bishop here. Now we go bishop here. Oh no, he still is mate. Oh, I had to defend. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. I had to defend. This is just, yeah, queen here, king here, knight check, and I'm dead. Because I cannot. Once he goes knight check, king cannot move. I have to drop a piece. Oh, what? He's going here. All right. Well, this is strange. I don't think he can. He can't take this. Oh, he has a. I didn't realize he had a pawn in his hand. Okay. Okay. Good job. I made it. When did he have a pawn in his hand? Oh, because he took a pawn. Wow. Okay. I guess here. Never give up. Never surrender. Knight check. So the opponent has nothing in hand. But, okay. Okay. All right. Well played. Good game. So a common theme in Bughouse and also Crazyhouse is to sack on f7. It's not necessary. It's not as good in Crazyhouse compared to Bughouse for sure, but it can definitely still be a powerful attack. I don't know if this is good. Should probably try the castle. All right, we're gonna just hunker down a little bit. Try to get castled. All right, so he's gonna win a pawn. That is fine, perfectly fine. So we got weak stuff here. I might drop a bishop to attack this pawn. I like that because it's kind of attack and defense. I don't really mind giving a queen. I think I'll just do that again. So I want to try to get a foothold here. You know, once you start putting a bunch of stuff around the opponent's king, it's going to be pretty hard for him to clear this up. And that'll just make there be a lot of mate threats all over the place all the time. Now we have a nice little trick just to trade, just to get a trade of a bishop for a knight, because a knight is often a very flexible attacking piece. So we have pressure here. Ooh. It's going to trade? I'm fine with that. I'd like 2 knights are better than 1. I'd like to have another knight in my hand. Oh no, he got me. Okay, nice. That's well played. Yeah, that's a nice smothered mate pattern. What? Oh my god. What a troll. Okay, it's a good way to get yourself blocked. Why are we doing this? Okay. Alright, we need to turn off this, this give 15-second thing, so we gotta turn that off. Okay. Okay. We're gonna block you. Alright, good job. Okay. Mm-hmm. Irene, 431. It's like 451, but not quite there. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with the opening. I'm just getting my pieces out. I'm sort of following this pattern from Jan Lee, Justin Lee, who's one of the founding fathers, the grandfathers of internet Crazyhouse chess, at least in my head. You could check out his channel. He's a world-class player and has a lot of great commentary. Okay. I think I want to try to force this trade just so I don't... Yeah, he's kind of getting in here. It's not good. I'm just trading this because it's off to the side. This knight would be useless, basically. But, yeah, I think I'm going to be in trouble here because this pawn is very annoying. It's sort of a foothold to attack my king. Now, I don't play Go at all, but here's a nice theory. Crazyhouse chess has a little bit of the flavor of Go in that you can launch attacks by kind of starting a few squares away. There's like a little bit of a long distance influence function where you're not necessarily directly attacking immediately, but you're getting pieces kind of a few squares away from the king, and that's building up pressure on squares that are 1 or 2 steps away from the king. And then you build up a more direct attack. Okay. So I might put a pawn here, and then if I take, he's getting even more pressure. Or she. God, pronouns suck. I should just say Z. But the Z pronoun, Z, Zer self, does not really roll off the tongue, if you know what I mean. I don't feel terrible at the moment. I mean, this is really bad, but opponent does not have a killer blow that I see immediately. They might sack. No. Yeah, okay. How do I clear this up at all? I can go bishop here, queen takes, and then make a queen here. Okay, I probably should not allow a queen trade. That would make more sense. The knight's coming here. Do I care about that, though? I think if knight here, I can sack. Because... yeah. I think that would be okay. If knight here, queen takes, king takes, knight check. He cannot go back because then I'm checkmating with a knight and a pawn. So he would have to come up. And then I don't know what then. I guess knight check. I have a lot of knights in hand. I got 3 knights. 1 for each of you. So that would probably lead to mate. So that's good. What's my plan? I want to attack at some point. I want to drop some pawns here. Possibly drop a knight here. But it's I'm not sure which is more urgent, defense or offense. Whoa, he did no way. Okay, let's do it. For the crowd. Did he calculate and he thinks it's safe? That's hard to believe, but could be. Okay, knight check. Must take. Then this is covered, this is covered, this is covered, this is covered. There's no way. This is just mate. Okay, I don't know why we're going into this. This is just mate. That's because my rating's too low. That's why. Okay. Now again, openings, not my forte. But we'll do our best. For the crowd. So I like this structure. Pretty safe. There's a lot of different attacking options, like probably bishop, yeah. Ooh. Alright, so this is just bad. We need to have our knight out instead of whatever we're doing here. This is just not good. But it's alright. What next? I'd love to put a pawn or bishop here on g7. Just really solidify things. There's always possibilities of bishop takes. He's probably going to put a knight here. Okay. Right. I think I'm not immediately dead. Only mostly, not entirely dead, only mostly dead. I'd really love to take this knight. That would be so good. Take this knight. I got a knight in hand. I disrupt his king. No defense around his king. Get a nice, juicy attack. He may sack. Like queen here, king takes, knight check. King here, knight takes. Could be annoying. Wow, knight here. Okay, so he's gonna do check, and then if takes, queen here is mate. But can't I just? I don't think this is good for him. I don't think he should have done this. Maybe he's gonna no. Got the 3 bishops. I got the 4 bishops. Got the 4 bishops. I guess you should only say that if you have 2 dark squared and 2 light squared. So I gave up the 4 bishops. Alright. So we're not immediately getting mated. I'd still love to do this. Okay, right. So he's defending sort of against that and attacking here. But can't I just... I think this is good. What if he does that? No. So here... Oh, is there a next level threat like queen takes? And then if bishop takes, this is... No, okay. So right now, so if he moves his knight, I think he's in trouble because we're going to go knight check, king goes to the corner, and then bishop sacks here. King has to come up, and now the king is all... Ooh. I was just not on the ball there. Interesting. I might be screwed, guys. Okay. This is bad. Okay. Takes. No, cannot take because this is mate. So I have to defend against this somehow. Queen at h7. That's practically impossible to defend. I think I might just be completely dead immediately. Unless I have some kind of amazing attack by surprise. Knight check, king here, knight check. Takes. Ooh, because... Oh. Alright, it's worth a shot. If he takes here... It might be drawing... No, he's gonna... Goes here, and then here, and then here. And then I got nothing. What? Okay, I didn't see that coming. That's very surprising. Now what? Hold on. What? We have a small amount of life. Not completely dead, only mostly dead. I think he messed up. I think he should have done something else. So, let's see. Wow. Man. What can we do here? Bishop here? Just make him expend something? Is that good? Oh, this is very treacherous. I don't... Wow, king there. Now we gotta have something. Okay, pawn. No, he's coming up here. Let's see. Rook check, king here. Knight check, king here. Wait. King here. Oh, man. Let's see. Okay, I think we get him to the back rank. I think we have a mating net here because... Ooh, he can come here. But then we can force him over, and then rook here is mate. Alright, good job. Let's analyze that. All right, so this is terrible, of course. We need to get our... Oh, I could have traded? Sure. Yeah, so this is terrible. We need to have our knight here to stop this. And this is just lost. Good. All right. Yeah. Huh. Computer thinks that... Okay, yeah, this is bad because we are... Among other things, we're making the g6 square very weak. Wow, this is actually winning. That's crazy. I don't think this would actually be winning. Right, knight, here, here. I thought just king here. Oh, I didn't see that. I was just looking at here, and now we're lost, right? Because, I can drop a pawn here, but that doesn't do anything. I lose check. And once I lose check, he's going to drop queen on h7 checkmate. But the point is king here, pawn here. And then we keep check, and then what happens? Right? Right? Okay, and then we just attack. Okay. Right? Yeah, okay. And then we get this attack. This was an easier way? This looks bad to me because he's sort of getting out of the box. He can come up and this bishop is not defended. Oh, you can, that's cute. I like that. That's nice. So when you're attacking a Crazyhouse, the king is sort of this fluid, the possibilities for where the king is going is sort of this like fluid, and you have your attacking pieces that are creating these lines around the king. So the king comes here and is boxed in because I got bishops and rooks, but then there's these routes of escape, and we want to kind of preemptively cut them off. And the computer has this very nice, boxing in move. The knight comes here and cuts off this escape square, and the bishop has the king boxed in otherwise. And then the king's going to come here, and then we're going to go pawn checkmate. That's very cute. And Crazyhouse has all these nice, beautiful moves like knight to c1 check, leading to mate in 2. You would never see that in chess. Like it's obviously just basically impossible, unless you had your knight here for some reason. Basically impossible to get that in regular chess, but in Crazyhouse we could do whatever you want. So that's fun. All right, let's do a few more games. Schachnoob Nachschub. Nice. Hello. Let's try e4. God, I wish I knew how to play the opening. That would be swell. That would be tops. Here? I want a castle, but h3 is always going to be a bit of a liability. I could castle queenside and try to attack. Somehow queenside just always seems like a terrible way to castle, but maybe we can do this. Try this. See what happens. Yeah, why not? See what happens. So I kind of like this pressure here, because okay, so he's threatening to win a pawn. I don't really mind that very much. Maybe I'll this isn't good. I don't like this. I shouldn't have done that. This bishop is just very solidly helping to defend. Wow. And I lost my queen. Terrible. In the words of the great Benjamin Beingold, terrible. Bum 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 dun 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 bum 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 bum. So I do have some amount of pressure. I'm not completely dead in the water. Like, the issue is with this kind of attack, we're dangerously close to getting kind of gummed up, like locked up. Now in regular chess, you can get very locked up, where the pawns just kind of lock everything up. In Crazyhouse, that's not nearly as bad of a stymie on your attacks, because you can drop pieces in there, but it still can stymie your attack if you get too locked up. So here I am feeling still mixed feelings. Maybe I should be more worried, but I don't think he could. Maybe I should be worried about this queen here, and this cuts off my escapes. Okay, so he's trying to clean this up. He's defending g8. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna force this. I really like having this open file, and I'm also threatening checkmate with rook at h7. He may have to go knight here. So queen here, I block, and then knight here. Takes. He can sack on b7. So if I put a rook here, that defends b7. Okay, let's see. Am I gonna get mated? Ooh. This is pretty risky. I just really love having that mate threat, Let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. Wow, he's doing it. Okay. Okay. Uh-oh. Is this really... I don't think that does anything. Knight here is his defense against rook at h7 checkmate. What do I do after that? I can just try to like knight here and just make him sack on b2. My rook is hanging also. Yeah, so there's the defense. We can also go rook here. Knight takes. Pawn takes. Probably queen takes. Knight check. Queen takes. Pawn takes. That might be good. Why don't I do that? Rook check. Okay, the issue is that then he'll have a bunch of stuff in hand. Like rook, knight takes. It could also take with the king. Wait a minute. Rook, knight here. He can take with the king. That might be better, actually. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm not sure how to attack. Wow, what if I just take this bishop? Okay, interesting. So the opponent's kind of starving a little bit, which is good for me. Like, wow. Why? What is his plan? Here? Oh man. We got a lot of attack here. He's gonna sack his knight? No? I don't think you can avoid sacking your knight there. I think you're busted. Probably. There's gotta be mate here. Knight here is mate, right? Okay. Alright, that was pretty good. I guess we can analyze. Alright, I think I'll probably could leave on a high note. Let's do one more. But let's analyze this first. Do we make any big boo-boos? Computer thinks I should take. Fine. Strategically, it's plausible I should have... Yeah. Does the computer even say that? It's plausible I should have moved king to b1 at some point to prevent this thing. Like, there's always this threat here, yeah. Computer keeps saying black should go queen at a1. The general idea is that you're cutting off the king from going this way because you force a blocker to come to b1. And once the king is cut off, like fully cut off, can't go this way at all, things just become very restricted. Like if you imagine that my rook was not here, or if you imagine my knight wasn't here, you know, he drops a knight on e2, check, cannot run this way, so I must either go this way or take. If I move my king here after knight at e2, now, you know, he's got double, discovered, triple check, everything. He might have a windmill even. And, you know, like a windmill with a knight, that's an actual windmill. Like when we have a windmill with a rook and a bishop making discovered check, that's not a real windmill because it's just like you're moving your rook back and forth in a line. But if it's a knight, you actually get a windmill shape. And that's pretty awesome. But not if it's your opponent doing it. So the moral of the story is move king to b1. Anyway, I opted to get some pressure. Computer says rook here. I just really wanted to have this mate threat, you know? Wow. Okay. Computer is crazy. Crazyhouse. Right, okay, we got the defense, and we just take. What? Oh, the bishop. Wow, that's a good find by the computer. This bishop is not protected. But this is fine. Yeah, okay, good game. No increment? You can't play Crazyhouse with no increment. The reason you can't play Crazyhouse with no increment is that you have no idea how long the game is going to go. It could be 10 moves, could be 20 moves, could be 40 moves, could be 60 moves. I guess that's true in regular chess, but there's no end game in Crazyhouse. You just, all the pieces just, it's the wheel of Samsara. The pieces never, they never really die. They just keep getting reincarnated over and over again in different forms, or the same form, but, you know, black, white, black, white, black, white. So there's no end game. And if there's no end game, the time control has to be infinite. Otherwise, the game just ends because of the time control, even if you're having fun. And the one who has the most fun is the winner. So we want to maximize fun, which means you have to have an increment when you're playing Crazyhouse chess. Okay. Haven't been paying attention to the game because I've been yapping. Probably gonna take this. Then I take. Oh. Really? Okay, so this is very vulnerable. Yeah. Okay, so he's just pressuring me here. That's probably a winning attack, actually. This is pretty bad. He's gonna go pawn here or pawn here. I can go pawn here to cut off the rook. That doesn't work. This is a bit trollish. I'm kind of offering a trade. I mean a threefold repetition draw. Okay, he's giving up a tiny amount of initiative in order to win my knight. Makes sense. Oh boy, I've just made it. Okay. Oh, I didn't play very well. Good job. Okay. All right. Let's end on a low note. One more game. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Giving up a pawn or two is NBD. It's a strange decision. So there's a thing I like to call queen football, which can happen in these sort of positions where it's not sharp enough yet. Like he doesn't have a mate threat, and so it's not really good for him to just sack a queen for no reason. And you can kind of kick the queen around a little bit. Possibly I probably should have done that more instead of what I'm doing now. It's alright. This is not that good, actually. Like, I can go pawn here, but what's the point? I can get a rook, and then... But then what? Okay. Just attacking this bishop. I don't really have a good plan, actually, which is unfortunate. I can always trade this, but what am I going to do with the bishop? Man, I don't really have anything. So my idea is to sack here. Let's do it. Oh, he took. He probably shouldn't have taken. Oh, he's got... Okay, he can go knight here. That's what he's going to do. Do I take it or not? Ooh, I may have to take it. Oh, he didn't do it. I think I'm just winning now. Right? Surely. I think I'm just winning. I think I just go queen here. Alright, we narrowly escaped. I think knight at e2 might have been... So I think this just... Because rook at e8 is going to be mate. Yeah. Okay. Opponent is gone. Alright. Well, that was fun. It was a good first stream. I don't know if anyone will ever see this, but, you know, if you do, hope you enjoy. I don't know when I will stream again. Some sunny day.